Hi folks, welcome to Diecast Overhaulin', and I am Vic, your Asian diecast handyman, doing simple diecast builds from scratch. I am excited for today's project. I have this diecast model since my elementary grade, and now I am in my late 40s. This is a body of a German Kubel Wagen, and I found out that this model was produced by PlayArt. It is a well-detailed diecast. This is the condition when it was given to me, with other matchbox models. It has no wheels, interior and under chassis. It also has damage on left front fenders, and broken right tow hook. The windshield frame is also missing. This is going to be a challenging, custom restoration. The paint was stripped off, and I will now do the fender repair. The edge of the damaged fender will be cleaned with a file, to remove oxidation. Then, I will be using piece of a cardboard, to serve as mold for the shape of the fender. I will temporarily glue it underneath. I used plastic epoxy, in patching damaged edge of the fender, including the broken tow hook. The glued cardboard will be removed. Then I will go on with the shaping, by filing and sanding. This is how it turns out, after first stage of filing. It needs a bit more of refinement, to achieve the right shape. I will use this chassis, from diecast model, The Thing, which was produced by Matchbox. All I did was to trim some edges, to fit in nicely. I will also make some adjustment, because the wheel position of this chassis, is not aligned with the body. For the wheels, I have a set, from a cheap plastic model. The spare tire perfectly fits in the hood. The diameter of these wheels are proportioned to the body, and it looks nice in the fender. Since the wheel shafts I will be using have bigger diameters, I need to cut wider and deeper in the chassis, so that wheels can roll freely, and it will not touch the fender. For the front wheels, I made a cut underneath the chassis, and move it forward to align with the front fender, and to level the body. To create the windshield, I have here the remaining upper body part of a van. From my previous project, I will cut a section out of this, for my Kubel Wagen project. This is the section I salvage. I will do trimming on all sides, to get the right size and shape. After continuous filing, this is the final shape. For the glass, I will cut a portion, from an empty clear plastic bottle, then sand it down, to fit in the windshield frame. I am going to use the interior, of the same VW Type T181. It has the folded canvas roof, needed for the Kubel Wagen. Using snips, I will cut the canvas from the interior. Then, remove the excess material, and sand it down to fit nicely. This will be glued on top of the rear section of the Kubel Wagen, covering the 3 holes. I will also remove protruding part of the interior, to have a nice fit in the body. It can now be inserted easily, but it needs a bit of refinement. I will put on the chassis and wheels, to determine where to trim down. In this setup, the wheels are still touching the fenders. I need to make an improvised shaft, to raise the body, and lower the wheels. Before I tackle the issue on wheels, I will first address the void area, under the front section. I cut this grille from the Jeep plastic model. I salvaged this part because it has a detail that will fit nicely to the front under chassis of my Kubel Wagen. I just need to trim the sides to fill the space, then it will be glued diagonally. I intentionally cut it a bit longer. The protruding part will support the wheel axle housing when they are glued together. All I need to do now is wait for the glue to cure and start filing. This is the wheel axle housing I made. I cut the head of a rivet and smoothened the ends. The wheel shaft fits in perfectly, the wheels roll nicely. I also filed the previous axle slot in the chassis to accommodate the axle shaft, then fill up epoxy above the slot to reinforce the chassis. I will now do a test fit to check the wheel alignment. She is a roller. She runs smoothly. This piece is add-on detail to the back portion of my Kubel Wagen. I took it from a plastic mini car. I will glue this under the rear, just like in the photo. The black small piece was glued in position. Now, I will likewise add horizontal rod in this area. This is made from rivet shaft with inserted piece of scrap plastic on both end. This will mimic the rear of Kubel Wagen on the picture. Until now, I keep on researching, what is the use of this rod? The horizontal rod was glued, I just need to put putty on some edges, then sand it, to have a better look. I took the steering wheel from plastic model, and it is proportioned to the interior. I put on headlights and few details in front section. Now I will make a bar across this area, just like in the photo. I am going to do it out of strand from scrap aluminum cable. This is how it came out. I will try to install the interior to see how it looks. Not bad. These are other accessories I am going to attach. I applied thin gray primer as the base color. The details will be hand-painted. If you are enjoying watching this video, kindly hit the like button. You may also consider subscribing to watch more die-cast car restoration and custom build of military vehicles. After painting the accessories, my Kubel Wagen is now ready for painting. These are the painted parts and accessories. And this is the body. I glued the windshield glass after painting. I will now go on with the assembly. I applied khaki paint on chassis and body. For the interior, I retain the brown original color of the seats, black for steering wheel. The rim of the wheels were also painted with khaki. I will now put on the accessories, the axe, shovel, and jerry cans. I did not apply color on the folded canvas to match the color of the seats. Here she is now. After years in my storage bin, she was finally resurrected. From being an empty shell, to equipped Kubel Wagen. I hope you enjoyed this build, like I did. Always remember, if you cannot buy them, build them. See you again on my next project. Thanks for watching.